one of the things that I get really passionate about is not just like women in sports, but like women in sports PR, because there's not a lot of us. And to show that women can work around athletes and be not only professional, but do a really, really good job. And that also shows them, especially these guys that come from cultures that where this isn't very common, that like we're meant to be taken seriously and we can do this job. And like the more of us that are around them, the less of a novelty it becomes. And I also feel that way about, not just in just like being taken seriously as like, hey, I can do this job well, but also being taken seriously and like, hey, I demand a level of respect that you probably wouldn't be showing me if you saw me somewhere else.
All of us have different experiences in sports, and some of us, depending on where we've been and what sport we've been, like have experienced more than others. And it's a question that's like probably the number one question I get from any woman who wants to talk sports with me and talk about my experience. And like, you just have to prove yourself double the amount. And then like we're talking about, if you're Latina and you also speak Spanish, but it's not perfect, that's something else to add to the plate that someone's going to critique you on. And it's like, you can't make a single mistake. And it's so annoying because like a man can make a mistake about anything. Like maybe he gets like, I don't know, the name of a player wrong, or like the simplest fact wrong. And it's like, oh, I just brain fart, whatever. But a woman gets it wrong. Oh, you don't know sports, blah, blah, blah. Like you're just here because you're a woman, or just like you got by because you're pretty or whatever it is. And it's like, I have the opportunity like for a freaking reason, but it sucks because even when you get the job and you're like, yeah, I got the job, it's like, okay, but like, can you keep the job? Like you're a girl. I'm like going on a tangent now. I don't even know.
Look, I feel you, because especially in my first year, I kept a lot of things to myself because I didn't want that I was, dealing with that, because I didn't want my boss and other people around me to think that I couldn't handle it. Look, I knew heading into this industry that there were going to be things, uncomfortable situations that I would find myself in, that I would have to find a way to deal with. Even at the Twins, I had, an uncomfortable situation. And so at that point, I was like, you know what? This is part of it, but this doesn't have to be the only thing. And I can work through this. I can deal with this, and I can find a way to avoid this, because this is really at the end of the day what I want to do. But even back to what you were saying, like even trying to make a relationship with these individuals in a way that so that they feel comfortable with you, so that they can trust you, so that they will do the things that you ask of them. There's so many different ways to do that. And like I had to go about it a completely different way than my boss could. And I had to find certain things, topics to be able to ask them about, to create small talk and to create conversations as a way to get to know each other and to relate, that I don't think my boss really had to think about it as much as I did, because it just was a little bit more natural. Like man to man, you just relate a lot easier. But then also in the back of your mind, it's like, how are people going to perceive this interaction?
Yes. I have to be so careful because guys can like, they can just make jokes about whatever, but I'm like, I need to be careful because I don't want anything to be taken the wrong way. Like I even down to the, like what I wear, I don't even wear like leggings to anything where I have to be around the first team, because it's like there's been experiences before where I've been told like, oh, you're wearing leggings to get around men to get compliments or whatever, and it's like, it's literally athletic wear and I'm in an athletic setting. But ever since then, it's those little things that you have to think about that men never have to think about. Topics to talk about. Like I always make sure to ask about families. And it's like, listen,
about
like
the wives and the kids consistently.
It's crazy the things that we have to do just to make sure there's a barrier here. Like we can talk on a friendly level, but make sure that it's not the same like bar talk or whatever that you might have with another man. And it freaking sucks because it's like, it's just those little things that you have to think about that the men don't have to think about.
The extra work that people don't see